Salmon and prawns account for nearly half of the UK's £3.1 billion retail fish market, but customers could be forgiven for feeling confused about what they should be eating. Are stocks sustainable? Is fish farming harmful? And can the oceans feed an ever-growing human population? Well, with me to discuss these issues is William Rash from seafood company The Big Prawn. I'm Julie MacDonald. Welcome to the Great British Business Campaign. Will, fantastic to meet you. A very warm welcome to you in the studio. Talk to me about The Big Prawn, your business. What makes you different than other people in the marketplace?
Well, we want to offer nature's luxuries that you can indulge in on an everyday basis. And of course we want to do that in a sustainable and responsible manner. But what really makes us different is that we want to convey the passion that is behind making it sustainable and making it interesting, and the communities around the world that are involved in making our produce. And I want to convey that to our consumers and customers, and I want to tell them and shout about what it is that we're doing and why they have a solid reason to believe in us and the products that they are eating.
How much support do you get from the local community where you're based in Norfolk, and how important is that to you in the business?
Well, we're based in a small village in North Norfolk that was originally created in the Victorian times to support a very large railway siding for the railways. That obviously was removed in the 60s, and fast forward a few decades, and we have the Big Prawn Company. And the most important thing to me for the Big Prawn Company is the community that we're involved in, and those people who work for us directly, and for the effects that we have on that community, whether it be the individual who's working on the line or the individual who's working in the office. So it's hugely important.
Well, just very quickly, how far do you go to convince people that you really know your supply chain? I'm thinking in terms of some of these food scare stories that we've seen over the years. How do you convince your customers that actually you know your business back to front?
Well, we do that in a couple of ways. Firstly, we try to put the story of our sourcing, our knowledge of our supply chain on the back of our pack. We don't just put a label on there that says sustainably sourced. We do try to clarify what that is and the effort that goes behind it. So again, we go to this great degree of understanding that supply chain and being with the people who make our produce, and then conveying that to our customers and presenting that to our consumers. Lots
of businesses wear that sustainability badge, don't they, Will? Particularly in the fish and seafood industry. You know, you see that little badge, responsibly sourced, on the boxes. So how do people know that you guys are the real deal and that this isn't just, you know, a nice badge to wear, you really mean it?
Well, that is a personal criticism that I have of this industry as much as anyone else, that we do put badges on and don't necessarily explain it very well to the consumer. What we try to do and advocate is actually putting the information in quite a bit of detail on the back of the pack to explain where the product comes from, to explain our passion of what we do and the reason to believe in it. I'm not expecting consumers to pick that pack up and read it as they buy it, but possibly take it home, read it at their leisure at home. It's interesting, and hopefully communicate that to friends and colleagues and go out and buy it again. Our website is all about how we source it and where it comes from. And there is a huge amount of effort and interest in where the product comes from, and we should communicate that through.
And why is it so important to you guys at the Big Prawn that it's not just about the environment? Of course that is very important, but it's about people, it's about community, it's about these communities of people who are bringing us our food.
We've got to remember that everything that is made, whatever it might be, is made by a community of people. Our products, some of it originates from first world countries, some of it originates from developing countries, some of it originates from countries in the middle of that, but there are communities always involved in making it. And there's always a story with that. And there's a lot of effort and a lot of dedication that goes in by these communities. And also to ensure that if we inform our customers of how it can be done correctly, hopefully they can be a little bit choosier later on when they are trying to make their decisions of, do I buy this or do I buy that?
What about food trends, never mind food scares? Where does how does your organisation move with the trends in food? Because one week it seems to be, you know, it's green eating, and then the next it's more protein. So how do you kind of keep up with those trends?
You've got to remember that seafood is actually extremely nutritional, extremely healthy, and it's quite fashionable. And that fashion is created by recipes, it's created by celebrity chefs, and we have to keep abreast of that. And we have our own we have our own chef who is creating meals and inspiration for the next generation. We also shouldn't lose sight of the fact that you've mentioned protein. Protein is a big thing at the moment, but actually fish has always been good in protein. It's never not been good in protein. So actually a lot of these trends and fashions is putting a label on something that has always been there. Fish is that ultimate example.
Will, it's been fantastic to meet you and get a window into your industry, but it's also making me very hungry, I have to admit. Thank you at home for joining us at the Great British Business Campaign. We'll see you next time.